Now welcome back, and I just brought one more video for the chapter microorganism, and this is part 3 and the last part of the chapter. So let's check it out what we are going to learn in this video. Food poisoning, what is food preservative, what are the methods, and the last topic, that is nitrogen cycle. So let's start. Food poisoning. Food poisoning, as we all are aware, that food poisoning means what? When we intake of such food in which there is a growth of microbe that may cause food poisoning, right? So food become poisonous when microbes infect the food, and the growth of these microbes that produces toxic substances that makes the food poisonous, and it may lead to stomach infection. We may ill badly, our energy used to decrease, we can say like anything, as well as if it may even cause death also if we don't take treatment timely. So that means poisonous the food becomes, and that's why we should be very, very careful. So what is the way, what means how can we keep our food preserved for a longer time so that the microbes should not attack on our food, and our food we may keep our food for a longer time. So food preservation is the method of doing so. The process in which the food materials, they are given a suitable method, you can say suitable treatment, so that the food should not get spoiled. To prevent the spoilage, that is known as food preservation. Now let's check it out. What are the different methods of food preservation? The first method is what? That is chemical method. Like salts and edible oils are the common chemicals generally we use to check the growth of microbe, so that they should not grow beyond a limit, you can say. Otherwise, what will happen? They will just cause the spoilage of food. So that's why these are kind of preservative. They are preserving our food for a longer time. So we may add salt or acid preservative. The chemicals also we have, which we may add to pickles or other food stuff. Example, like some chemicals are also available. Examples are sodium benzoate and sodium metabisulfite. They are such chemicals. They are known as common preservative. If we add them in food, they may go for a longer time. These are used in jams, sketches, and so that these things are not spoiled easily. So that's why the chemical method is one of the reliable method, we can say. But what are the method which we can use at home? Common salt. The common salt that has been used to prevent our, you can say, meat, fish, and such kind of material. They are covered with dry salt so that these or you can say methods can stop the growth of microbe bacteria, and that's why it can be used to preserve the things like amla, mangoes, that also we used when we make pickles for that, right, and etc. Oil and vinegar, again, if we are talking about pickles are so tasty to have with food and all, right? Everyone likes pickle, fine. So just let me know in my comment box that which kind of pickle you just like it, right? I will wait for your response. So like if we are talking about the pickles that use of oil and vinegar, they prevent the spoilage of pickles. Have you seen that ever your mother or grandmother, nani, dadi, and whoever is there, they used to add a good amount of oil or vinegar to the pickle. Why so? Because these are the things so that oil and vinegar, they make a layer. They make a layer in between what? In between environment and the pickle, so that the pickle should not come in direct contact with the environment, and this can stop the growth of microbe. Vegetable, fruits, fish, meat also, they are often preserved by this method, but we generally don't do at home. We use that oil and vinegar, especially in pickles. Sugar, again, like the things which we use at home, jam, jellies and all. So they are preserved by sugar. Sugar is the one which helps to reduce the moisture, the water content which is present in such food, and so that it inhibits, means it stops the growth of microbe again. It is also one of the easy and the good method. Now this method, I'm going to take it now, heat and cold treatment. In this, actually the method would be used, that's the kind of pasteurization, right? So, but before that, that one more method we use it, that is refrigerator, fridge. So low temperature means why we keep our things in fridge? Why don't we keep it outside? Because in fridge, in refrigerator, we have low temperature. And because of this low temperature, that is also one of the conditions to stop the growth of these harmful microbes, which may spoil our food. Or we can say boiling. Whenever you just get milk in the morning, so the first thing what we have to do with milk, the mother or someone else boil the milk before it is stored or it is used, before its consumption, because boiling is the best way to kill many microbes. That's why if we may get ill also, that's why it is advisable to have boiled water, because it kills the germs. That's why the boiling, and or the thick, you can say keep the things in refrigerator, that is, these are also you can say good method. But the one more treatment is there, that is pasteurization, and this pasteurization has given by Louis Pasteur, and he was from, you can say he was a French biologist, microbiologist, and chemist, and he was you can say honored because of his discoveries and all, right? So he was the one who has brought a new discovery that he named it as pasteurization. Now, pasteurization, what do you mean by pasteurization? Now, what happened means we may also take from market that pasteurized milk, and this pasteurized milk which has undergone the pasteurization method, we can consume this milk without boiling. Means, because why so? Because it is free of you can say free from any harmful that microbes or germs and all. So we are not supposed to bring it to home and then we have to heat it and then we have to make it cool, and that this is the method is already is processed in such a way that this is free of any microbes, any harmful microbe. So what we have to do in this, the milk is heated, you can say at about 70 degrees Celsius. 70, that is not 700, this is 70. So this is 70 degrees Celsius. We have to use it. We have to boil it for 15 to 30 seconds. And then suddenly we have to make it cool. We have to make it chill. And then we have to store it. This is also the method which can help to prevent the growth of microbe. And this kind of milk, without boiling, we can consume it easily. And because this was discovered by Louis Pasteur, that's why the name has been given to this as pasteurization. Storage and packing. Storage and packing, we used to store our you can say vegetables and the fruits, dry fruits, and even some eatable also in airtight containers. Why you can say airtight containers? Because if the food comes in the contact of air, it causes oxidation, and this is also a reason of spoilage of food. So not to allow air in contact with the food, that's why we have to keep in airtight containers, you can say airtight packets, so it helps to prevent the attack of microbe. Have you ever seen, like, suppose if you just take a chips packet and so, you have taken half and but half is there, so you will keep like this only without packet it, you can say without keeping in some airtight packets and all, and you will keep it open. Even after some hours, if you consume it back, you say you may have some smell also, or the moisture content will come, and if you we keep it for 2 or 3 days, the smell start coming and it is not good for consumption, right? So this way also we have to think we should keep it in airtight container, so that the food will help to keep the food free from any germs and fresh as well. Now, nitrogen fixation. Nitrogen fixation. Whenever we get this word nitrogen fixation, the first thing comes in my mind, that is bacteria rhizobium. What you just get the first word, that is bacteria rhizobium, because it is involved in the fixation of nitrogen in plants, leguminous plant like pea or pulses and so on, and such kind of examples. Even one more we have, that is we can say blue-green algae is also helping for the same. So rhizobum bacteria that lives in the root nodules of such plants like bees or peas or such kind of thing, and that's why they show a symbiotic relationship. What is symbiotic relationship? That let's recall the topic. Symbiotic relationship in these two organisms, they are depending on each other. They live together and depending on each other and fulfill the needs for each other. So that relation is known as symbiotic relationship. For an example, we have what? That is lichens. Remember, the lichen is also one of the examples for this relation. Now, a nitrogen cycle. The nitrogen, as you know, in atmosphere, that we have 78% of the air is occupied with the gas nitrogen. So atmosphere is containing a good percentage of this nitrogen gas, and that's why it is very, very essential also, right? It is very, very essential component for all the microorganism. You can say for all the living organism, right? Not microorganism, living organism. So like you can say proteins like chlorophyll, nucleic acid, vitamins and all. But can we take nitrogen from the atmosphere directly? Are we able to do so? No, we are not. So who will help us in doing so? So who is helping in doing so? That is certain bacteria and blue-green algae which is present in the soil. They will help to fix nitrogen from atmosphere and convert into the usable form into compounds of nitrogen that will help to get nitrogen in usable form. So as nitrogen from atmosphere converted into usable form, what will happen? Then it will utilize by plants from the soil through their root system, and then it will pass on to the different parts for their proper growth, to promote the growth, right? So nitrogen is used for synthesis of plants protein and other components. And animals, they are taking, how animals are taking nitrogen? So because animals, they feed on plants. Even we are dependent on plants. We are using the plant product. So that way we can consume nitrogen from plants, which is used to make plant protein, right? That is, it is very, very useful component. We'll just check it out that in nitrogen cycle, if you say, if we are plants and animals, they are consuming nitrogen continuously, then how we can keep the nitrogen in the air with the same percentage, that is 72 only? Because if with the help of microbe like bacteria and all, they are converting the atmosphere nitrogen into usable form to consume, the same way there are some other bacteria are there which help to return it back also to atmosphere, and that's why the percentage of nitrogen in atmosphere that remain constant, right? So we'll see how it will go, but before that, when plants and animals, they die, bacteria, fungus and all, what happens? When they die, these will get mixed with the soil and then they will convert into nitrogen waste and then into nitrogen compound, which can again be utilized by the other plants and all. But as I told, there are some other bacteria we have which help to convert the that usable form to nitrogen gas also. This is how we can maintain the percentage of nitrogen. So let's see the diagram of nitrogen cycle. We have to start from the top. That is this atmospheric nitrogen. So nitrogen present in the atmosphere, mainly there are the nitrogen fixers, nitrogen fixing bacteria and blue-green algae that are helping to convert the nitrogen in the atmosphere into what? Into ammonia, into that nitrogen to nitrogenous compounds. Not only these microbes, but also lightning, which we observe in at the time of thunderstorm. The lightning also somehow, the energy from the lightning also helping to fix nitrogen. And then what happened? That is done by the microbe, and then it is given to the soil, and from the soil these compounds which are in usable form now, this can be taken where? By plants now. And plants will eat this, that animals will eat this plant, and so animals also containing the proteins made by plants, by these from these nitrogen compounds. And so we also, but what happened when because of the excreta produced by these animals or plants, we can say, or the waste, or even because of the death of animals or the plant, the dead animals and dead plants, they also getting decomposed by with the help of decomposers. Again, here microbes are helping to decompose the waste and all, and that's why these are helping in cleaning the environment also, right? And then these are the again waste can convert into what you say that into soil, and this can be again added to the soil, which may take back by other plants. But also we have some other we can say bacteria or microbe which are known as denitrifying bacteria. These denitrifying bacteria that again take these compounds of nitrogen to convert back into atmospheric nitrogen and give back to atmosphere. This is how the percentage of nitrogen may keep, it keeps you can say constant here. So this is how we can explain this nitrogen cycle. I hope now you are clear with the chapter microorganism after watching the 3 videos. So thank you so much for learning from the videos. Be safe, take care, and keep supporting. So see you soon with next chapter. Till then, stay safe, stay home.